Welcome, my love light lifers. Nettie T here, your vibrational coach, and today we're talking about the number 666. Not quite the devil's number, but 6666 is the number of the day. We're going to talk about it right here, right now. Are sixes, when grouped together, evil? Are they really the devil's number? Well, let's find out if that's actually even numerologically correct. However, if you're here for the first time, I'd like to say welcome. It is really nice to have you. And if you're a returning subscriber or follower, hello. Love you all. Today we're talking about sixes. And of course, we have that old adage of 666 being the devil's number. Not really sure if that's a great place to put our focus when it comes to numbers, but a lot of people ask about it because when they start seeing 666 or 6666, 6666, they might start to think that they're being chased by the devil. If you subscribe to such notions, if you believe that that kind of thing can and does happen, you might freak out a little bit. But the truth is, in numerology, 666 or 6666 is not actually a bad number at all. We're going to head over to Joanne's Sacred Scribes again today and have a look at 666, 6666, and see what sixes really do mean. Sixes are about honesty, justice, integrity, charity, faith, love, humanity, service, balance, peace, domesticity, responsibility, care, the teacher, the convention, the provider, the protection, idealism, selfishness, truth, order, economy, emotional depth, curiosity, deep love of the home and family, humanitarianism, service, unselfishness, balance, peace, sacrifice, empathy. The list goes on. Circulation, beauty, the arts, curiosity, concern, family, home. This one comes up quite a bit. Possessions, planetary issues. And so the biggest ones that you see are home and domesticity, family, and are reoccurring ones. And of course, intellect and imagination. And this all comes down to how we see the number 6 as starting the next sort of movement in the wave. We talked about 5 being that 180 degrees, even though it's not quite halfway between 0 and 9. As human beings, we tend to think of it more as 1 to 10. So 5 is that midpoint, and we've all kind of got this idea in our heads, this subconscious registering that halfway points are really good points to stop and to make sure you're on course. So again, what would happen after that? Well, this is where things would shift. This is where you have to actually take some time and figure out where you go from here. In other words, you would probably be retreating to your home, to your family. This is where you would back up, take a step back and go, okay, it's time to figure out where to move to next. And so usually this also denotes that you'll find the first 5 numbers are very physical oriented numbers, and they denote making things from physical scratch. In other words, doing stuff physically. In other words, getting up out of your chair, walking to the place, picking up the thing, walking to the next place, putting the thing down. Okay? Very physical. We got some stuff done there. Okay? Whereas when we're talking from 6 onwards, we're now starting a more esoteric version of that. In other words, where before we might have been just shifting things around by using our physical abilities, now we're starting to become a little bit more self-aware, and we're starting to shift things within ourselves, which we start to see shift things outside of ourselves. And we're going to get a little bit more into that when we hit the 7s, because 7s are really exciting. But 6s can be unlucky. And I'm not saying this to be so biased to 6. There's nothing wrong with 6. But occasionally when people see 6s and 3s, they will have bad luck. And the reason is because there is an underlying belief, if it exists within the individual, which it quite often does sometimes in Western society especially, that it is associated with the devil, and that belief pattern has been set in there, then unfortunately, if the person hasn't done anything to move that, then that person might see some very negative influences just because they believe that's what it is and what will happen. However, 6 in itself has another little side connotation in the fact that 6s have the belly. And this is where the family / home and domesticity side starts to push further out than some of the other meanings for this particular number, because there is this this like physical look of the pregnant belly. And even though it's not a conscious thing, that pretty much until somebody else pointed it out to me, it wasn't something that I looked at or noticed. It is amazing the things that go on in your subconscious mind when you're not looking. And we sort of touched on this in previous videos where we were talking about how we can have dream symbology because of the fact that even though we're not consciously aware of it, when we dream about water, we're dreaming about emotions. And when somebody interprets that into your dream, you're like, okay, how did you know this was an emotional thing? Da, 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 da. And you go, because there was water involved. And they go, huh? How did you get that from that? And it's because there is a similarity between water and emotion, because emotion flows, water flows. And even though you could argue till the cows come home, the subconscious mind makes the association just naturally and quite easily. And so you can put it in a book and sell it on the street and people will buy it. And every single time you use it and you go, oh yeah, emotions make sense. You know, same with buildings. Buildings in dreams are referring to the mind. If you're having a sort of shaky mental experience, you'll start dreaming that you're in shaky buildings. So this is what happens with the 6 too, and that's why the family and the domesticity about this particular number, but mainly just that this is the progression on from the 5 where the changes happened, and now we're regrouping, which is a very personal and intimate experience. So I hope you have enjoyed 6666 and you didn't get too freaked out. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow if you want more content like this. So glad to have you. And of course, if you've had experiences with 6s, let me know. Throw it down there in the comments. If you're seeing 6666 or you've had a 666 experience, let us know. So until tomorrow, I'll see you later.